Yeah, that didn't end well. Hi guys, welcome to the next episode and I suppose last episode in the Arsenal Let's Play. So for the first time on the save I've been sacked now. Yeah, Everton has just fell apart. Just totally fell apart. And I, if you are, by the way, just very quickly, if you are going to dislike the video because I got sacked, well, I'm not that I really care, but I don't care about dislikes, but I don't understand the logic. That's how the game works. I didn't choose to be sacked. I didn't do this to piss you off. This is just how the game works. So if you're going to get angry or anything like that, well, I just want to. I didn't do it on purpose. I failed at the game. Okay, that's kind of what happened. So I apologise, and I think that so I don't apologise. Actually, I have no apologies to give because okay, I screwed up the game, but we move on. We're going to take another job, and I think this summary is very nicely. Well, this summary sums it up perfectly. We have, of course, runners-up in 2036, 2037, runners-up in the Champions League, runners-up in the Capital One Cup, and we eventually, as you can see, finished 5th outside the Champions League. Man City winning the Premier League on 90 points. As you can see, look at that, 10 losses, 7 draws. Even though we had better goal difference than Liverpool, in the end it really was a close-run thing. For that, their 6th place, obviously they got it in the end, obviously Europa League as well, so did Aston Villa, but this was a total and catastrophic failure, absolute failure. West Ham, Forest and Charlton, so well, that second season syndrome I guess for them, but well, what next? I don't know. Well, we're going to go over the fixtures anyway. We'll see how I did. I'm not going to show you too many of the goals, but Johnny Heitinga again following me up. I don't know what it is about this guy. Fucking Dutch bastard keeps sort of following my jobs. But these were this is basically what happened here. If we go from where were we? I think it was the 14th. I think we obviously lost to Southampton in the FA Cup. Alvaro scoring for us. Victor Fernandez, who was constantly complaining to me about wanting first team football, shite. We did beat Dortmund, however, happily, in the Champions League. This is when it was literally the next, like it was from here that the wheels started to go off. It really was from the end of the last video. It really was from there. Pius Sunday did give us the away goal in the Signal Iduna Park. But we did beat Chelsea 3-0 with Van den Beek scoring a hat-trick. He doesn't have the potential to do that. He doesn't do it very often, but he does, have the potential to arrive, bring it, and just blast in the goals when he wants. But he doesn't do it often. Well, he does do it often, but he doesn't do it in big bunches. He'll score hat-tricks. Maybe he'll score 2 or 3 hat-tricks a season, but he has the potential to do it 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Seriously, he's that good. We lost then to Brighton, and as you can see, what I mean? He follows up a hat-trick against Chelsea with a rating of 6.2 against Brighton. I mean, come on. We also lost to Nottingham Forest again. Well, I think this is more my bogey team. Forest have been a bit of a bogey team for me. Malatesi or Malazzi in Gamer there was absolutely awful, really poor. But we did beat Dortmund though eventually. 2 sendings off. Nabil Slimani get himself sent off, as well as Wayne Reina, the captain. Bookings everywhere. Sunday though did give us the goal. That gave us through, so he pushed us through, and as you can see, it was heading to extra time as Janis Kaczynski scored for them. But Pius Sunday in the 92nd minute scored for them. But 9 men. Well, it's Slimani and Urane. I don't know what they were doing there. Truly a stupid thing. And I think I may have said get stuck in, but I didn't mean break the legs. And Rodriguez, I don't think he could have saved that. I would hardly call that a counter attack. I don't think he could have saved it, but he probably could have punched it away from the Dortmund players. So yeah, not the best goalkeeping in the world, but I'm not going to blame him. But yeah, nice little nod down there from King, who really is going to start making his claim. I mean, I've talked about the injuries and so on. I'm not going to blame the injuries and say yes, the reason I got sacked was down to injuries. They were a factor, but they weren't the factor. They weren't like saying that. I'm not going to just come out and say it's not my fault. I blame the injuries. I blame injuries. No, it's not. But they did get worse. they did get kind of worse as the season went on. But if we go now to the next game, which was 2-2 against West Brom, a struggling West Brom team, really. I mean, Ureña scored, yes, and Sunday rescued the points on the bench, but we should be beating them. And then this, for me, kind of just summed up the season. Now, you look at that scoreline and think, did that seriously... Are you seriously suggesting 4-4 again at the Emirates in the North London derby? Almost 30 years exactly since that eventful night at the Emirates, and of course David Bentley scored that amazing goal, Aaron Lennon in the last minute. It certainly did, almost by the book. They took the lead there, Tottenham, it was almost by the book, not absolute replicas, but it was very, very similar. The goalkeeper, Eric Yeboah there, love his name to be Tony, but unfortunately it's not. He had a blinder as well. Well, I say blinder. Apart from that, he actually did have a good game, but a bit of a mistake from there. And there's Andrei Hristov, getting his first goal for a while. Obviously, he's retiring at the end of the season, but this was his final North London derby. And then second half, they came out fighting. Oh my God. This was the first time I saw the team really, go for it, and look to have a little bit of style and panache about themselves. They actually looked sort of interested almost. A nice way from King, and there's Slimani, 2-1, turned it round in a few minutes. Start the second half, 2-1. Very, very happy with that. Slimani's now on a bit of form. He was one of the very few bright sort of sparks in this season. He did look quite impressive, I've got to admit, but unfortunately, it really was not enough for me to keep my job, shall we say. Tony Hurst, I really don't understand why players do that. I don't... Where's he going there? But a lovely ball. And there's Ngema. Yes, 3-1. I mean, one of the most unlikely sources. We saw Abreu score the winner previously, but that was a lovely finish there from the left back, I think he is. I can't even get my right and left. I'm getting them mixed up now. God, what's up with me today? Rodriguez then with a lovely ball to King, who, he has made more of them usually. He is usually better at that, but there's Andrei Hristov in his final North London derby appearance. He has to grab two, scared of Tottenham, obviously. And that, I think, was 4-1 at this point. So 4-1, game looked dead and buried. That was obviously not going to happen though, was it? It's too easy for us to run out as 4-1 winners in my last North London derby. As I say, the by the book repeat of the 2008 North London derby at the Emirates Stadium. Check this out. I mean, to be fair, nice finish there from Tucker. That was 4-2 with still 20 minutes to go, might I just point out. And then we had a corner. I thought, okay, if we can get a goal here, that'll just calm the nerves. But no, a terrible ball there from Alvaro. I think Rodriguez, whoever it was, could have done a little bit better. Maybe could have gone for the ball there. Again, Rodriguez, the goalkeeper this time, not doing particularly well. Probably should have caught that. And there, so that's 4-3 with 5 minutes to go. And then, as look at the bar, look at the blue bar down there. 90th minute. It's just gone into the 90th minute. Okay, it's not quite Luka Modric with Aaron Lennon on the follow-up, but pretty close. Sort of. Saved. Kostic. 4-4. Hat-trick. I don't ever put my hands in my head sometimes, but on my head sometimes, but fuck me, that was a killer. That was horrible. That was seriously really, really horrible. Then we played Valencia. Yes, Valencia in the Champions League. Now, that's a team we have not played before, and they won. They're actually a really good team, Valencia. Rodriguez had the shocker. He is not living up to his potential at all. He is a bad player, let me say. I just want to throw out there. He's a bad player. Then we lost 4-2 to Manchester United. I thought that was going to be it. I thought they were going to sack me. Nabil Slimani, again, getting themselves sent off. Again. Moron. Then Valencia, 0-0, not crashing out of the Champions League. Hey, look, Slimani getting himself sent off again. That's 3 times in, I think, the space of maybe a month. Let's see, when did he get sent off? So we got sent off against Dortmund. He then got sent off against United, and now he's getting sent off against Valencia. So 0-0. Sunday, King, Hristov, all up there, couldn't do anything. Probably I was a bit crap with the subs, but to be honest, we were really. Look at that! I was bringing on Graham Hudson because I literally had no one else. 17-year-old from the reserves. I literally had no one else. So no Champions League, and I think that was our kind of that was the saving grace. If I'd got to the semis, I may have done something, got something there, and pushed on and maybe even won the Champions League. But as is the way, that was not the case. So Valencia marching through. So that was three Spanish teams in the final: Valencia, Barcelona, Madrid. And I think incidentally Valencia may have won La Liga for the first time in like 35 years, breaking the Madrid-Barcelona monopoly. We lost 2-0 to Liverpool as well. Andrei Christov, well, he's been the scourge of Liverpool for so many years, but he thankfully had a quiet game, I suppose, if you're looking from their standpoint. And it was all over to me at this point. I mean, look at that. We haven't won since Chelsea. We haven't won for nearly 2 months. And yeah, the papers at that point were saying, is this going to be his last match? If he loses against Liverpool, he's finished. But we bounced back with a 3-2 victory as Van den Bulk, Sunday, and Gossett scoring, who really needed to kick on. He was terrible. He got dropped, but in fairness, in the last month or so, he really improved and actually did quite well. But we lost to West Ham, obviously, lose the big games. Sunday did score, but Van den Bulk, again, not having a particularly good game. Beat Swansea. I think I may have instant result of that one, since it really was inevitable that I was going to get sacked. Lost 4-1 to Blackburn. Awful. Sunday, Van den Bulk got injured. Beat Wigan 1-0 with Gossett scoring again, and I think that was the last game. Yes, that certainly was the last game. And then I got sacked. So if we just sort of look at the goals and stuff, let's see how we finished then. So Sunday finishing on 26 goals. Oh, that's a pretty decent return, especially with 12 assists. Van den Bulk, considering he was injured for a good portion of the season, got 21 goals, not bad, and 15 assists. 9 goals for European Golden Boy himself. Jamie King, though, along with 8 assists. Slimani with 12 assists. Alvaro, these are all really good players, all good potential players, but they weren't ready for the step up, and that was the problem. If you're going to do what I did, and like to bring them in young, obviously I realise the irony of me doing that at Arsenal is very, obviously the whole Wenger thing. But if you are going to have that opportunity of, your backups are basically going to be your kids, and you go through an injury crisis like we did, and the game called it itself an injury crisis. I've mentioned previously about how we had. At one point, I think there was 12 or 13 injuries. That was at its absolute peak. That was when it really, really was taking the piss. Now, I know a lot of people have complained about the injuries on this game. They are, taking the piss a bit, and I can somewhat see the point. I've not really experienced it myself. I have had times where it's been like, oh, for fuck's sake, give me a rest, give me a break, but I'm not really bothered by how many injuries there are. It's the length of time, I think, that gets people. It's like I'll be a clutter of injuries, and it's like 2 months out, 5 months out, a month out, 3 weeks out. It's like they're not just 4 or 5 days. I wouldn't be bothered if it's just a flu occasionally, if there's a big epidemic flu or something. But damn, the injuries hit me hard, and I'm not going to blame them. I'm just going to say, look, they probably were a deciding factor, but I'm not going to blame, as I say, I'm not blaming the injuries, but it was my fault, arguably, for not having good enough backups. It really is that simple. Okay, yes, we had 5-star potential players like King, 4-star potential players like Wright, Alvaro, Hudson, who else do we have? Boyer, all these players that could have been really good, or will be really good in maybe 3 or 4 years' time, but not yet, and that was the problem, and it cost me my job. So, yeah, fail. Really, that's all I can say is, honestly, fail. So what next? Well, all I'm going to say is tune in. Now, I don't know when this video is going to go up, so you'll have to excuse me, but tune in Saturday, the day of the Champions League final, because of course I'm going to be uploading a very special episode. It will be the unveiling of the new team, and I just want to throw this one right. If you want to throw the video on some social media, very, very, very rarely, in fact, ever ask for this, but I thought it would be kind of cool. May notice over the last week, if you follow me on Twitter, link in the description, I've been using the hashtag I want to be like Jurgen Klopp. If you are going to spread the video around, use that hashtag. Keep using the hashtag. Spread the hashtag around on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is you want to do. Spread the hashtag around of I want to be like Jurgen Klopp. Come back on Saturday and you'll see why. Because I want to be like Jurgen Klopp as well. Thanks for watching. See you then.